guys, so this is my 2026 World Cup countries ranking. This is not based on their performance. This is based on their expectations, how good they should have done. Mexico went over a little above, but in the group stage, they were great. I'll give them the group stage are one of the top teams. Only undefeated. They only lost to England. They're going to get a good A tier. South Africa finished as one of the best teams. People expected them to get out their group, but lost to Canada, my home country, in the first round. I'll give them a B tier. South Korea. People expected South Korea to make it out their group, at least second place. They didn't even make it. So I'm going to put them C tier. Czech Republic. I don't think anyone really knew Czech Republic. Finished fourth in their group. I thought they were going to finish maybe third. I'll give them between C and D. I'll give them a D. Canada. They were good. They're pretty good in the group stage. Second team, made it to the round of 16. People were expecting to get them out in the first round. I'll give them a B tier. They were really good. My home country, yeah. Bosnia. They finished as one of the best third place teams. People were expecting Bosnia to be like third or fourth maybe. But, they were decent for their expectations. I'll give them a C tier. Qatar. Everyone expected them to be last. They did finish last. They lost 6-0 against Canada. D tier. Switzerland. They were really good for their expectations. Made it to the quarters and won against Colombia. I'll give these people an A tier. There's no S tiers yet. Brazil. These were one of the nations that were really good at start. They lost to Norway. Everyone was expecting for Brazil to win, but I predicted Norway to win, and I actually got it right. Based on their expectations, they made it to the round of 16. It's between B and C tier. What do I give these people? I'll give them, since they're 5-time champions, I'll give them a C tier. Morocco. This team was good based on their expectations. They won against the Netherlands in the first round. They were just really good. Made it to the quarters. I'll give these people an A tier. Haiti. Haiti were expected to be the last of their group. They weren't too good. I'll give them a D tier. Scotland. People were expecting them to be one of the best 8 third-place teams, but they had hard opponents to go against. I'll give them a good C tier. Let me rank these up. What's the best C tier? Probably Bosnia. Wait, no. The best C tier, probably Brazil. And then probably, yeah. It's good. And I think, USA. USA made it to the round of 16. First to their group. They were but they lost 4-1 to Belgium, even recovering one of their best players. Since they kind of cheated, I'll have to give them a C tier. Paraguay. Now, this team were one of the underdogs. Upsetted Turkey. They finished as one of the best third-place teams. Won against Germany. Almost won against France. I'll give Paraguay an A tier. I think that's Australia. But Turkey. These were one of the teams that flopped this tournament. They finished last in their group. A very winnable group. Have to give them a D tier. I think this is Australia. Australia, they were good. I think they were second. Yeah, they're decent this tournament. I'll give them a C tier. Germany, they were good in the group stage, beating Curacao 7-1 till they lost against Paraguay. I have to give these Germany a C tier too. Curacao, they actually tied Ecuador, and they were just really good, and they scored a goal against Germany. I'll give them a B tier. No one expected them to even get a point. I think that's Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast were known as one of our underdogs. They were good. They were until they lost to Norway, so I'll give them a C tier. Ecuador. People were expecting them to be a little better, tying with Curacao. Then losing to Mexico. I'll also give them a C tier. That is the Netherlands. They were good in the group stage until they lost to Morocco, but still they were pretty good. I'll have to give them a low B tier. Would be good. Japan. They were good. They finished second in their group, and then they lost against Brazil, but actually scored the first goal. I'll give them a B tier. Sweden. People were expecting a little better from Sweden. I wanted them to finish second. I predicted them to finish second. They actually finished third, and then they got beaten by France 3-0. I'll have to give Sweden a low C tier. Tunisia. Now, these were they were expected to go fourth in their group, but they were pretty bad. They lost 5-1 to Sweden, I'm pretty sure. And then, they just absolutely bottled it. So, D tier, Tunisia goes. Belgium. These were Belgium's expectations. They were really good in the tournament. They reached their expectations. I'll give them a high B tier. Egypt. They got to the round of 16. They were, I think, they were their expectations too. I'll have to give them a B tier too. Iran. They were actually good. They were leading second. I think they were leading the group once. Iran, I think I'll have to give you an A tier, to be honest. I'll give them a mid B tier. New Zealand finished fourth in their group. They were actually pretty good, but lost. So I'll give New Zealand a low or a high C tier. Spain. They're champions in S tier. Cabo Verde. Nobody even expected them to get out their group. No one. But Bosnia was the savior. Even though they lost to Argentina, they almost won. I have to give them an S tier too. Saudi Arabia. I don't think they're that strong in their group. No, they weren't. They finished fourth in their group. They're lower than their expectations. I have to give them a D tier. Uruguay. They didn't even qualify for the round of 32, and they had a gift of a group. Except Spain, but they would have still finished second. I'll give Uruguay a D tier. France. Everyone expected them to win the World Cup almost, but they were losing 4-0 in the third place match in one half, and they lost to Spain 2-0. I'll give them a high A tier. Senegal were good, but they bottled the round of 32 against Belgium. I'll give them a C tier. C tier sounds pretty good. Iraq, I think that is. Iraq had a hard group. They, of course, were, probably the worst team in the World Cup because they had verse all Norway, Senegal, and France. I'll just give them a C tier. Norway were good in the tournament, finished the quarterfinals. These were more than people's expectations. I'll give them an A tier. Argentina, they're the runners-up, but they did face controversy a lot, so I'll actually give them an A tier. Algeria. Well, I think they finished third in their group, and they're just like a C tier. I think they're a little lower than people's expectation. Austria were good in the group stage, but lost to Spain 3-0. It's between a B or a C. So I'll actually give Austria a C tier. Jordan. They're last in their group. They were not very good. Another D tier. Portugal. They really had lowered expectations. They're going to be one of the really good teams in the tournament. I thought they were going to be finalists. They lost to Spain, though. They finished second in their group with Colombia, DR Congo, Uzbekistan. I'll give them a high C tier. DR Congo. These people were good. They almost won against England. So, yeah, almost won against England. And they finished third in their group. I'll give them a high C tier. Uzbekistan finished last in their group. They could have finished third. DR Congo was a pretty close rivalry. I'll give them a high D tier, almost C. Colombia. They were one of the dark horses, finished first in their group with Portugal in it, but lost to the round of 16. Should I give them an A or a B tier? I really don't know. I should think a high B tier is deserved. England were good. They finished first in their group, beat France in the third place match. I'll give them a S tier. Their expectations were pretty high. I think they beat it by a bit. I don't know. I think I should give them a good S tier. Croatia. Now, they're really good in World Cups. They were finalists in 2018 and third placers in 2022. They finished in the round of 32. It's Portugal, though. I'll give Croatia a C tier. Ghana. Now, Ghana were good. They were one of the third place teams. I think they made it, but yeah, they tied against England. C tier. Panama. Now, no one really knows about this team. They were finished fourth in their group. Give them a D tier. These are my final 2026 World Cup standings on the best teams.